I think AG came out yesterday.
He was trying new things, putting guys out there in different positions. I was very impressed with how this defense bounced back, but he finally decided it was a good idea to stand Aiden Hutchinson up.
Hey, AG, what's going on? Why don't you put him in the 2-point stance? We watching the film. Be about to go with a guy. You feel me?
Bull rush, rip, spin combo.
Aiden belongs in 2-point stance.
They were let down by the offense.
They only put up 24 points. And mind you, 24 points where your offense gave the ball up 5 times. I want to talk AG if we can.
We can.
I think Aaron Glenn got a lot of somewhat unfair criticism just based on the scenario he was given with. We discussed it before too. You say you're giving him rotten vegetables, you asked him to make a salad. I think AG came out yesterday. He made a lot of takes calling for his job. Looked just as lazy as they were. Because what were the two things I argued when I was defending AG that he didn't have, Spinner?
Talent
And experience. He got a drip of that yesterday with Josh Pascal. A little bit of experience too with Kaminsky and Jacobs as well. Jacobs didn't play too many snaps, but did he not produce?
He did.
The situation with Aiden Hutchinson we had conversations about too. Now, granted, that was coming off the New England game. They then made those adjustments, had the bye week as well. You come out again. And by the way, too, was the Cowboys not the number one offense last year in the league?
They were.
The number one scoring offense at the very least?
They were, but they're not the same team as they were last year.
Yeah, I'm missing Amari Cooper. They do still have CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott, Pollard. They still have weapons, though. They still should be it's dangerous. And I get Dak's coming back off his injury. But did AG not come out and show you that he's got it? Just give him something to work with.
He did.
Again, he didn't have those things. That was the argument for him. He gets those things and he produces. They only put up 24 points. And mind you, 24 points where your offense gave the ball up 5 times. All right, as Booker T would say. That's pretty good. And still, a fairly young defense as well. Mm-hmm. He stood up Aiden Hutchinson, which we'll get to later. You saw some production out of that. I actually watched some film, the all 22 on that one, and my oh my, that's what he has to do at the pro level. I'll leave it at that. But what are your defensive takeaways from yesterday, Spinny?
It was impressive. Again, he did what you were asking for when you asked for talent. You asked for someone to be an injection into that team. He got that. He proved it. He did what I was asking for. When I said I need to see him using these guys differently. I need to see him putting Aiden Hutchinson and other guys in the situation to maximize their abilities and maximize their talent. And that's what he did. I don't know what took him so long, but he finally decided it was a good idea to stand Aiden Hutchinson up. And what happened? The guy was in the backfield. The guy was causing havoc. The guy finished with a sack and a half in the game. I don't know what took him so long. He decided to do that. He changed some things around, and they were getting more pressure on the quarterback, whether that is because Aiden Hutchinson was going up against a rookie tackle for the majority of the game, whether that is because the Cowboys' offensive line is not what it used to be. I'll have to figure that out, but it looked good. The changes were made. It looked different. He was trying new things, putting guys out there in different positions. A.J. Parker was getting absolutely abused. And so they take him out and they put in Mike Hughes. And Mike Hughes starts to make some more plays, stays tattooed to his guy a little bit. Jeff Okudah we already talked about it, playing like a man with his head on fire. Feel like my head's on fire. He's going out there making plays. Finished with 15 tackles in the tackle for loss. Amon-Ra, they gave him a chance again. They put him back in there, and he showed out. He was staying attached. He wasn't letting Michael Gallup do what he wanted to do. I was very impressed with how this defense bounced back. I was very impressed with how Aaron Glenn made changes and executed the game plan to put them in the best position going forward. We'll see how that looks next week. We'll see if it was just a fluke against a bad Cowboys offense with a quarterback who is rusty. But I saw changes that I needed to see. He made them, and they were making a difference.
Change these broken wings. JP.
To fly again.
What did you see out of defense yesterday? Are you still in the camp of firing AG?
No, I'm not on the camp of firing AG.
I don't think you were, actually.
Right now. But like I said, we wanted to see those changes, and I think we got a little bit of those changes yesterday. Those slight changes, if anything, as you guys said. Pascal did a good job. Shouts out to Aiden Hutchinson. I don't know if working with the linebackers this week helped him out a little bit, or maybe AG was reaching out, finding some new coaching skills. Maybe he tapped into Woodward Sports. Listen to the heavyweights a little bit, Told him to stand him up for that 2-point stance, and then, look what happened. 1.5 sacks. There we go right there.
Yeah.
Jeff Okudah, 15 tackles overall, 12 solo. And shouts out to Panay Sewell, too. Him going up against Micah Parson, which I know isn't an easy task, but only allowed 1 pressure on Goff. So, I have nothing bad to say about this. So at least we went out there and tried and did something different this week.
I forgot to take our victory lap and credit for, showing AG how to coach, right? Because, he must have been listening to Woodward heavyweights, okay? Because we didn't, what I'm saying? He said, hey, AG, what's going on? Why don't you put him in the 2-point stance? We watching the film, beaming about the cool with the guy, you feel me? No, but honestly, God, Aiden had a 2-point stance. This is actually the segment I was supposed to say, and I forgot that we flipped it around. I did do the all 22, and I should have just started with this. I apologize. But either way, out of the 2-point stance, that's where that man belongs at the NFL level, okay? And I'll tell you why, too. I think, one, I thought I found it funny, at least, because you and I joked about it in the offseason during, the combine stuff. But, remember the short arm thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a big concern. Drop the stock. Yeah, those 32 or 32.5-inch pythons, whatever. I think that, honestly, is the difference when you're coming out of the dirt like that.
It is.
You saw him, and again, because yesterday he rushed out of the 2-point stance, but he still was coming out of the 3-point stance as well. Every single time he came out of that 3-point stance, got stuck, locked up, man-to-man, trying to bull rush somebody. Trying to bull rush a man's, yeah? But when he was able to, start off that 2-point stance, I think he was able to make that first contact. If people don't watch film, or people who, aren't nerds like us, that's one of the key things, right? Getting the interior and first contact, whether you're the offensive lineman or defensive lineman. He was able to do that out of that 2-point stance. Not only did he do that, though, off the 3-point stance, again, short arms probably not able to make the first contact, because technically he does have the shorter arms. Mm-hmm. Stuck in the bull rush. And the 2-point stance. What we see that one move, Spinny? That little spinneroonie? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That was nasty. That was sick.
He had a bull rush rip spin combo.
That
did all 3.
Yeah.
It was impressive. I was where the hell has that been all year? Literally engaged the man, pushed him upfield, ripped him to get to his outside, and then spun back on the inside and got pressure on deck. I was like, okay, you're just combining 3 moves now? Why haven't you been doing that all season? And it was impressive for me to see, and you might be right. Maybe that does play a factor. It takes him a little while to get those T-Rex arms out of the dirt. But it was impressive. When the man was on 2 feet, he went out there and he provided something the Lions had only seen in 1 quarter or 1 half so far this season. He provided legitimate pressure on Dak Prescott. And again, that was to the benefit of Josh Pascal. That was with the help of Josh Pascal and John Kaminsky, guys who can create pressure in the middle of that defensive line rather than coming out the outside. Josh Pascal looked fantastic. I know he only showed up in the box score a little bit, but if you go back and look at the tape and watch his snaps, the guy was moving people around. The guy was creating havoc.
It's a monster.
And the Lions needed that desperately on the defensive line. That was his
first. I don't even know if this man's in football shape. Just got
activated off the IR. He looked bigger.
Yes, bro. Real quick too, and I just want to make fans aware of this with the Aiden Hutchinson situation. He was going against a rookie offensive tackle for majority of the game, Tyler Smith. So I guess ate that on the side of caution. But nonetheless, again, I'm a nerd enough to where I watched the film. All right, and he was getting stuck in the bull rush moves, and you can't tell me he wasn't, because even Jonathan Vilma pointed out 2 weeks ago. In that 2-point stance, he's able to work more freely and use a lot of those moves. At the NFL level, man belongs in 2-point stance. Just all day. There's no question, no doubts about it. Yeah, again, he had the rookie tackle that he was going against, but he went against rookie tackles in the Seattle game, got worked. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So I can't just fully, I'm not discrediting that at all. Aiden belongs in 2-point stance. We finally saw that. Shout out to AG for making that happen. What are you looking at right now? You distracted me. You're staring out the window.
I'm just sitting here, dude. What?
You were just wow, looking out there, blind.
Yeah.
You all right?
I'm fine. I'm just sitting here.
That computer sound was very easy.
I just gotta keep my eyes forward the whole time.
Well, no, you're just looking at nothing. I don't know. I was just making I thought something was happening out there.
No, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Keep going, man.
Aiden belongs in 2-point stance. Shout out to AG for recognizing it. Maybe it took 7 weeks to happen. I will say this though, it did affect him in the run game a bit. I wouldn't say he was as prominent, in the run defense because of that. And some of his success yesterday too. You maybe have to credit Josh Pascal. I know Jeff Freddie wanted to hear that out of me. Maybe some of that is true. Because when Josh Pascal is on the other line, driving another human being into the quarterback's throwing space, then he's trying to evade that going into Aiden Hutchinson. You guys see.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I think there were a lot of different factors that played to the success of the defense, and they were let down by the offense. No matter how good your defense is, no matter how well they're playing, few can survive 5 turnovers. Few can survive the ball being coughed up in such critical situations by the offense. So we know what went wrong. But it's good to look at what went right for the Detroit Lions, which was Aiden Hutchinson standing up, which was Aaron Glenn succeeding, making changes, doing different things, and slowing down that offense. I was impressed. I was. And I think the Detroit Lions need to keep doing that. They're going to need to keep spicing things up if they want similar success. If they want to continue to do this, if they want to continue to get pressure on quarterbacks, they're not going to be able to put out the same situation, the same scheme every week because they don't have the talent to. They don't have the game breakers to where you can put him in any situation no matter what, and he's going to get you success. We don't have that on our roster right now. So they're going to need to scheme their players into the best situations possible. And we're going to need to see that change week by week until Thanksgiving because there's nothing they're going to be able to do on Thanksgiving. I'm just saying that now.